comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
You don't have to go somewhere else just so you can go somewhere new. Plan your next vacation with Huntsville International Airport and Breeze Airways. Enjoy friendly, convenient, nonstop travel to some of the most exciting destinations in the U.S., including the home of 12 world-famous theme parks, Orlando, Florida. With flights starting as low as just $49, Breeze has got you covered with easy, breezy, nonstop flights to Orlando. Make all their dreams come true. Book nonstop to Orlando now at flybreeze.com.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Now, it's time for your Atlanta Braves morning update. Presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Get clean car happy at any of the 250-plus Tidal Wave Auto Spa locations today.
The Braves topped the Cardinals in dramatic fashion in a 4-1 win. I'm Barrett Salee, and this is the Braves Radio Network Morning Update.
Get clean car happy all season long at Tidal Wave with exclusive membership discounts, giveaways, and more. Visit TidalWaveAutoSpa.com/Braves for more information.
The Braves topped the Cards, take 2 of 3 in the series, and a 5-1 homestand for the Braves before they head out to Arizona. Eli White was the hero yesterday. His 434-foot home run in the bottom of the 8th gave the Braves a 4-1 lead.
1-1, a fly ball high in the air to deep left field. This thing is clear for takeoff. It's a 3-run homer.
And Daysbel Hernandez would finish it off from there. How about Bryce Elder? 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts in Wednesday afternoon's win over the Cardinals. The boys will head west now to the desert. 3-game set coming up with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Chris Sale on the mound on Friday night. He's 0-2, 6.17 ERA, 32 strikeouts, and 7 walks. Ford leadoff show coming your way, 8:25 Eastern Time. First pitch against the Cardinals at 9:40 right here on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's a daily update on Bama sports, and it's brought to you by The Good Feet Store. The Good Feet Store, for over 25 years, helping people get back to the life they love without their feet getting in the way. Start your journey at goodfeet.com. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. On Thursday's edition of Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, we'll be joined by former Alabama women's basketball player and first-round draft pick of the WNBA's Los Angeles Sparks, Sarah Ashley Barker.
And trying to get better and better every single year. And so I think it's one of those things where it's like, hey, like, it's a good recruiting tip, in my opinion. I think that they can use it in a way of like, hey, we're going to have these WNBA players back in our coming on campus and being able to be around you and being able to impact you and that kind of stuff. And I mean, I just remember when any former player would come back, into Foster or Coleman, like, and come to our practices, like, it means a lot to you just because of how much they poured in. And so I think it's just, you're like, hey, we've got 3 WNBA players coming back to practice. That says something. And you want to be able to have those type of people come back and just that caliber of a player, if that makes sense.
I'll have more in a moment.
This is Christian Miller for the Good Feet Store. I know from playing football at Alabama and in the NFL that if you have foot, knee, hip, or back pain, it can be a huge challenge. The Good Feet Store is designed to personally fit you with arch supports that alleviate and even eliminate your pain altogether. Try them before you buy them. They're in your free, no obligation, personalized fitting, and you can wear them home the same day. So if you're looking to improve your game, the Good Feet Store has you covered. Stop in for a free, personalized fitting today. Roll to victory at goodfeet.com. That's goodfeet.com. Roll Tide.
Join us this afternoon for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, streaming live at 2 p.m. Central on all CTSN social media platforms at UA_CTSN. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by The Good Feet Store. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
There you go. It's raining, but we're back. We're live. We're brand new. We're off. We're running, and we're ready to go on a Thursday morning. A Thursday morning that sees us 11 hours, 57 minutes, and 49 seconds away from the start of the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin. It's raining here. It's supposed to stop eventually. At least my forecast says, not at least for the next hour. Says 64 degrees right now. Believe it or not, we're actually going to get a high of 74. Don't know how that's going to be possible, but it does say we will. Big thanks to Talon Heating and Air for setting up hour one for us right out of the gates. Don't forget, give our good friends a call, 256-503-4490. They've got a lot of talent, and it's raining right now. I imagine they could do a lot of stuff still. They could probably do a tune-up. They could probably do some indoor air quality. They could probably do some duct work. They could probably do some natural gas work or maybe a system installation. I don't know. But make sure you give Thomas, Terry, and Jeremy a call, 256-503-4490, or find them online at talenthvac.com. Here we are zeroing in on round one of the NFL Draft tonight. And they did do – so the NFL Draft, for those that don't know, they do a complete walkthrough on Wednesday. They do picks 1 through whatever, and they bring up some odd characters. I believe a defensive end from Princeton was taken yesterday. That's who stood in for the number 1 overall pick. But they do a complete walkthrough. It's done, and we're ready to go.
Nice. And we're looking forward to it. Hopefully we'll have better weather in Green Bay than we got here. Luckily, we're going to talk some high school baseball today, and they ain't playing today, but they're slated to play tomorrow. Good thing. And of course, the Huntsville City Schools, shout out to them. They do have turf field over at Grissom now, so it is going to be easier to play.
I thought there were still grass. I didn't think they were getting theirs in until next year.
Oh, I thought they all did. I was thinking that everybody got their turf field in. So
I know Lee got theirs in and Huntsville got theirs in.
That's correct.
But I didn't know. I thought Grissom was still in grass.
Oh, maybe they are. Well, then it's a good thing again that they're playing tomorrow. So I haven't been out there to see their facility and see if it's been upgraded yet. But I did know Huntsville was. I did know Lee. I've seen theirs. Yep. Both of them, but I did not know if Grissom had theirs done yet.
All right, 256-576-4977. That's the number to the phone lines. You can join us this morning if you would like. We will hear from Nick Saban as he talked about Jalen Milroe yesterday. Cam Ward talked about going to Nashville and being part of the Titans. But a college football story that came out yesterday was in terms of this settlement that is supposed to happen between the House and the NCAA. A judge has put a kink in all of it because she said she will not sign off on it until roster limits in college football or college athletics as a whole are phased in. Claudia Wilkin said she will not approve the House versus NCAA settlement as presently written until there is something in there about roster limits, and she is giving them 14 days to either phase it in or grandfather it in, or it will not happen, and then they will have to go to trial. Mm-hmm. And if they go to trial, then it could take a long time before this thing gets done. But she's given them 14 days to do it. Right now, the proposed rosters include 105 for football, women's and basketball 15, baseball 34, and men's and women's soccer 28 and 25 for softball.
Mm-hmm. And they'll probably end up going to court. None of this stuff ends up ever being easy. That's why I was been saying for a while now, never assume you're going to have 15 scholarships coming up. I don't know why any of these coaches would ever assume it. I think that's why you've seen some late entries into the transfer portal, including with Kentucky basketball, because they've been buying so many players that they don't have room on the roster. They're basically the Los Angeles Dodgers of college basketball right now. They're just trying to spin their way to a title, and hopefully it'll blow up in their face.
256-576-4977. If you would like to join us, as we mentioned, the NFL draft quickly approaching tonight in Green Bay. And obviously, Jalen Milroe has been a topic of conversation, and where he will go, if he will go, when he will go, all of that good stuff. His former head coach, Nick Saban, yesterday in Green Bay, while part of the draft pre-coverage, talked about what he sees in Jalen Milroe.
Well, I think the number one thing with Jalen Milroe is this guy adds an element to your offense that nobody else has in this draft. I mean, this guy's a tremendous athlete. I love the guy as a competitor. He can make all the throws. He's a very good deep ball thrower because he has a really strong arm. He made a significant amount of explosive plays. Here you see him beating people with his feet. And this is the fastest guy on the team and one of the most physical guys. So I think if Jalen is going to develop in the NFL, he's got to become a little more consistent as a passer. Yeah. And the thing I met with him every week his junior year was eliminate your bad plays. Eliminate the negatives. You make so many good plays, you eliminate those bad plays, you're going to play at a high level for somebody.
There you go. That was Coach Saban meeting with him daily his junior year.
Yeah, well, didn't work. Because he turned the ball over more than anybody in the country. So he had a worse junior year than he had sophomore year. So Nick Saban did the best coaching job in his entire career, getting Jalen Milroe to win the SEC title and be a player or two away from the national championship. That's all I can say. He's a turnover machine. He was a turnover machine at Alabama last year. He does make the most wow plays, and he is very capable of making deep ball throws, but then there's 5 worm burners in between. And if you think he's a physical runner, then I'll sell you some swampland in Arizona. I mean, Nick Saban's standing up for his guy. I understand. He's trying to help Jalen Milroe get drafted. I totally get it. He recruited the kid, but he is not a physical runner. And he's not he's a dynamic runner when he doesn't have to cut and change direction, because he is the fastest guy on the field. Ask LSU. No question about it. He's capable of going 80, 85 yards on a play. No question about it. But he's also capable of going backwards 15 yards because he doesn't step up in the pocket. He backs up. He doesn't protect the ball well. He is the biggest boomer bust prospect in the draft. I mean, and I lean toward him busting because I don't think he processes very well.
Right.
And, unlike Jalen Hurts always protected the ball and didn't turn it over and didn't put his team in position to lose games. But Milroe, if he had played at a higher level last year, even because, to be honest with you, he wasted great defensive efforts against Tennessee, against Michigan. You can go down the list, and even against Oklahoma when you go back and look at it, because I know they gave up some rushing yards, but they played really good in the red zone defensively and kept Oklahoma out of the end zone. But he threw basically 2 pick sixes.
Right.
And so he lost 3 of the 4 games personally by himself. And so somebody's going to have to keep him from turning the football over. And he's just always been a fumble machine, an interception machine. And the bad thing is a lot of his picks get returned for scores. And so, I didn't see enough growth last year in Kalen DeBoer's system. I wouldn't waste a draft pick on him until the 4th round. And because then you don't tie up as much money. I can see him getting a shot in the NFL, but I still think it's lunacy here, and he's going to be a second-round pick. I know they don't tie up as much money in these first and second-round picks anymore, and so within 2 years you can just start over. But like I said, I think he needs to go to somebody like the Baltimore Ravens in the 4th round and then be a guy that sits for 2 or 3 years because he needs that much development. And he's just, I'm sorry, anybody that thinks that he's, capable of playing next year, there's no way in hell. And then even by his second year, I'm not convinced of it because he's a raw prospect. He does have a strong arm, one of the strongest in the draft. But accuracy, anticipation, vision, he doesn't have.
Right. I'm looking at teams. I'm looking at the draft order for the second round because everyone we've talked to said, hey, possibly the second round. And I'm looking at teams in the second round. And I'm thinking, okay, where would it be a fit late in the second round? And, you've got Indianapolis, Atlanta, Arizona, and Miami with the 45th, 46th, 47th, and 48th picks in the draft in the second round. And then you've got teams like Carolina, Houston, Baltimore, Detroit, Washington, Buffalo, Kansas City, and Philadelphia to round out round 2. So it's like there's possibilities in there. There's teams that would be willing to put him on the bench for a little bit in that back half of the draft. One of the things is, and I ran into this morning, which college programs all time have had the most players drafted going into the draft? And do you know which college program has had the most players ever drafted? Not just first round, but all time.
Probably Notre Dame.
Yeah. 532 players all time drafted Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm. Closing in on 40 years. Counting it down.
USC, by the way, is number 2 on the all-time list with 530 players.
They suck too.
Number 3 is Ohio State at 489.
There you go.
Since 2000, Ohio State would be number 1. They've had 167 players selected in the previous 25 drafts. Then you have number 4 is Oklahoma with 417 players.
They had a losing record.
They are in a 4-way tie for the most number 1 overall picks in the draft with Georgia, Notre Dame, USC, and before Caleb Williams came off the board first in 2024. Mm-hmm. Now they remain in a tie for second. Michigan is number 5 on that list at 415 all-time draft picks.
I would have thought they might be second behind Notre Dame.
And then number 6 with 411 picks, the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Yeah, most of theirs panned out, unlike other folk.
Alabama does have a streak of 8 consecutive NFL drafts with multiple first-round selections.
Going to be really interesting tonight. I think it should be 9 in a row because I think Jihad Campbell and Tyler Booker both should be first-round picks.
Right.
Booker's the best guard, but sometimes guards are devalued. And Jihad Campbell, I've seen him going anywhere from, late teens to 32 to the Eagles. And some even have him out of the first round. I think those folks should have their heads examined. But because I think he was plenty, productive enough to be there and be a first round pick. But, we'll see. But I definitely think Jihad, I would say top 20 for him. And we'll see with Booker. It depends on teams' needs. I still think Booker would be slated between 20 and 32 because, again, you don't ever see guards, very rarely. Chance Warmack actually didn't have as good a pro career as I thought he would have, but he did go, I think 11th, something like that, when he came out of Alabama. But, of course, that offensive line was dominant, that won them back-to-back titles in 11 and 12. But, again, you just don't see guards going that high. The offensive tackle position is usually where you see the value. And then every now and then a center like a Ryan Kelly from Bama, Travis Frederick, guys like that going round 1. But you don't see a lot of the centers either.
No college football program, though, has produced more first-round draft picks during the Nick Saban era at Alabama than the Crimson Tide. 47 first-round picks. That's more than half of their all-time number of 82, which, by the way, is third all-time nationally in number one picks. So there you go. Penn State is number 7 on the all-time list, followed by LSU. Georgia is 9th on the all-time draft list, followed by Florida at number 10. Other SEC teams, Tennessee is 13th all-time in draft picks. Texas A&M is 18th. And then you have Auburn. Auburn has 300 NFL draft picks, which is tied for 19th. And then you have Arkansas in a tie with Minnesota at number 24. So there you go. My Iowa Hawkeyes are 28th all time in NFL draft picks. So there you go. Just a little news and notes there for you. Let's get a break in, shall we? It's Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone on a Thursday.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The sound of the organ. The crack of the bat.
It is gone.
The sight of watching the ball go over the wall. And the taste of peanuts and Cracker Jacks. There's nothing like it. It's America's pastime. From the first pitch to the final out, you can hear every game right here on your home for Alabama baseball.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer again. Baumhauer's Victory Grill is extremely proud to have recently received numerous awards, including being voted best wings in the state of Alabama. Other awards received include Best All-Around Restaurant, Best American Restaurant, #1 Sports Bar, Best Chef, Best Wings, and Best Dining Experience. Thank you for 43 legendary years, and we look forward to providing you an award-winning dining experience at every visit. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
You don't have to go somewhere else just so you can go somewhere new. Plan your next vacation with Huntsville International Airport and Breeze Airways. Enjoy friendly, convenient, nonstop travel to some of the most exciting destinations in the U.S., including the home of 12 world-famous theme parks, Orlando, Florida. With flights starting as low as just $49, Breeze has got you covered with easy, breezy, nonstop flights to Orlando. Make all their dreams come true. Book nonstop to Orlando now at flybreeze.com.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at JetSuperstore.com.
Got a wreck westbound on 565 now near Sparkman. It's coming in as a no injury. Already working one eastbound right about Huntsville International Airport. Had a couple in Athens, I-65 at Huntsville Browns Ferry and I-65 southbound at Highway 72. Both of those are now showing clear. You could lose up to 4 sizes in 4 weeks with the 2030 Fast Track Weight Loss Program. Find out more at 2030huntsville.com. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
There's the phone and no one to answer.
256-576-4977.
And as a result, we got many, many phone calls and letters.
Give us a call on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline today. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Welcome back. 7:22 on a Thursday morning. Just be careful heading on into wherever you're going this morning. Lots of water on the roadways. We've even got a couple drips here inside the studio. We've had a lot of rain over the last couple days.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of a yellow submarine in the Rocket City all week long, really, except for, thank goodness, out there at Cherokee Ridge, we had enough of a window to get in our charity golf tournament. And for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, it was a great day. And I had a coach ask me, tell me once again, Scott, the team that won it.
It was a team from Cherokee Ridge.
I knew there was one of their members was on the team, so it was the team from Cherokee Ridge.
Yeah, it was a team from Cherokee Ridge.
That won the first place straps.
Yep. And then we actually gave away belts, and the team that won it, big thanks to Pete Sands and the gang over there. But Pete gave them all a 1-year membership to the club, full membership to the club. And it's a family one too. So, you can bring your whole family. You can enjoy the clubhouse, the pool. You can enjoy every little bit of place out there, but an entire, you got a free membership for a year to the club. So, we were giving away some big time stuff on Monday, giving away a lot of good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh my goodness, I had to pop the old, there we go. 256-576-4977. If you want to join us this morning, chair's not comfortable today for some reasons. I had to pop the old back and just get a little bone pop there. So where did I wanted to click this? Cam Ward is looking like he's probably going to go number one, right?
Oh, it's a lock.
Yeah. Well, you know what though? You know what number he wore in college?
Number one.
You know who wore number one for the Houston Oilers?
Yeah, Warren Moon.
Yes. Well, they did retire the number in 2006, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And so if Cam Ward has hinted that he would like to wear number one on the pro level, meaning he would have to get Warren Moon's permission to wear number one.
Find another number or go out and throw for enough yards to be a Hall of Famer. You don't deserve it, period.
Yeah.
I know CeeDee Lamb gets to wear 88 because Michael Irving gave him, permission, and he's been a great player. But I'm sorry, I just don't think Cam Ward deserves to waltz in and wear number one when Warren Moon set the standard. Wear a different number, win some games, don't choke. Because I'm not convinced this kid's even the number one overall pick. So stop demanding things. Get your ass in camp, get signed, and do something
before you decide that you want to take a great Hall of Fame number
and ask for Warren Moon's number that you don't deserve right now. So
Warren Moon said he would consider
games he went in Miami in the Bush leagues. Could he even beat Georgia Tech? No, he couldn't.
No.
So get in there and earn it. Why don't you make another number? You may have worn number one your whole life. Hell, I don't know what number he was at Washington State. Didn't give a damn. Didn't watch him. Didn't watch him at Incarnate Word either. But, just because you wore number one at Miami doesn't mean you should wear number one with the Titans. Get in there and become a great player. And sometimes you go into an organization where a number's not available. Tough tootie. On to the next one. Could have said something else. If it was XM radio, I would.
I think it's funny that a lot of these new NFL players come in and want to wear Hall of Famer numbers. You know, they want to wear these numbers that have been retired. And it used to be back in the day, if a number was retired,
You showed more respect.
yeah, you didn't even hesitate to not wear it. It was not a question. You just never wore it. You didn't do it.
And then in CD Lamb's defense, he's been in the league for a few years now.
Right.
They didn't have that. They now allow, at least I will say this is a good move by the NFL to allow single digit numbers to be worn. And it used to be you could only wear a certain number if you were a certain position,
right.
things of that
They
nature.
opened up more numbers to be worn.
So they opened up more numbers for you. Find another one besides number 1.
Yeah.
Mr. Ward.
Oh, I'm laughing.
Because I'm sorry, you're lucky you're going number 1, because I sure as hell wouldn't take you. I'd be taking the best player in the draft, Travis Hunter, who's going to play both ways and be rookie of the year. You can book it.
Ooh. Wow.
Even if he has to go to the swampland of Cleveland. Sorry, John. But he's that good. So, maybe you can elevate him.
I love listening. I love watching Twitter at this time because there's so many idiots that put out these dumbass takes. And one of them put out there, and he has 100 and some thousand followers, but he put out there that the Browns would take Travis Hunter and then move up the draft to get Shedeur Sanders.
Well, and then next year hire Coach Prime, right?
Just bring the whole family.
Yeah, just bring the whole, and then retire their numbers after their rookie years, right?
Because that makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm still laughing. By the way, I am still laughing at the story you told yesterday about the Fordham basketball team. I am still laughing.
Yeah,
I am still laughing at that
man.
situation, by the way.
Yeah, I feel bad for the Fordham Rams.
I'm still laughing at it.
For
those that don't know, they were hit with a 3-year probation and a $35,000 fine and
that's
recruiting
how much
sanctions.
a Kentucky player makes a minute is $35,000. And we'll see if they can even get out of the Sweet 16 next year with all these guys they're buying. They went to see Caleb Holt the other day. The whole coaching staff, no telling what they offered them.
The Rams were fined. This was good. They were fined for doing Photoshops in Times Square.
Right. For about $10,000, which is that's for every 30 seconds for a Kentucky basketball player.
A trip to the bowling alley, trips to Knicks, Nets, and Giants games, and more.
God forbid, man.
That's what they were hit with or hit for. I remember you told the listeners yesterday, but I'm still laughing at it today. I still find it funny.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I read that I'm just like, oh my gosh. Find a Kentucky basketball player. Oh, yes. So if a Kentucky basketball player makes $3 million this season, do the math and figure that one out. I tell you what time is it? 7:30?
Yes, it is.
Let's get a break in, shall we?
We got Coach Adam Mosley coming on out of this break.
Yep. Former Grissom Tiger head coach, Hoover head baseball coach. They got indoors down there. They can get some work done indoors because you're definitely not getting it done outdoors up here today.
No, we did get it confirmed. Paul Crew, appreciate you.
Yeah.
He's a Grissom guy. He said, yeah, they're still grass. They have not got the turf yet.
Saw some video of them playing in that first game in the Huntsville series.
Yeah.
And it was on grass. So I was like, unless they put it in there, no. But yeah, I think they get theirs. I think the plan is for Grissom to get it next year, I think is the plan. I think there was like a laid out. It was Huntsville, Lee, and I think maybe Mae Jemison or something, or Columbia got theirs first, and then the rest of them get it second. But anyway, Adam Mosley on the flip side.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy, overcast sky this afternoon, very similar today to what we've seen the last several days across the Tennessee Valley. Temperatures climbing into the 70s, and we're talking about another chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms. Just like the last couple of days, we're not looking at any severe weather across the Tennessee Valley. Dropping into the low and mid 60s as we head into the overnight, early Friday morning, maintaining the opportunity for a little bit of rain, a cloudy sky Friday afternoon. Temperatures once again climbing into the 70s with scattered showers and thunderstorms. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Just had a wreck pop up 565 eastbound at County Line. It looks like it's going to be an injury type. They haven't assigned HIMSI to it yet. Already got one 565 eastbound up about Glen Hearn. And we've got westbound 565 at Sparkman that's fairly new. Expert heart care backed by advanced technology. When you need cardiac care, you need the heart doctor. Dr. Randall Burns and the team at Huntsville Heart Specialists on Bob Wallace Avenue. Captain Eck in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
I'm here with Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. With the temperatures going up and temperatures going down right now is a good time to get your heating and air system looked at. Thomas, when somebody calls, you guys answer.
That's right. The phones are staffed by us. They're manned 24/7. We're ready to come out and take care of you that day.
How do they give you guys a call?
You give us a call at 256-503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
talenthvac.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a bad compressor, leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490. AL certain number 21014.
Where's the best place for sports? What about the best place for wings? If you answered Jefferson's for both, you're right. Jefferson's is also a great place for value. Every Monday, kids eat free with the purchase of an adult meal, and teachers bring your teacher ID, and you eat free every first Tuesday of the month up to $15. At Newmarket, Jefferson's will be opening a new location at 2190 County Road 65 very soon. Jefferson's, best place for sports, best place for wings. Hampton Cove, and soon in Newmarket.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
Here in North Alabama, barbecue is a part of what makes our home so special, and great barbecue from Lawler's makes it just that much better. Since 1978, Lawler's has been serving up their delicious barbecued pork, ribs, chicken, ham, and turkey for generations of family get-togethers. Recognized as the best barbecue joint in Alabama for 2 years in a row, Lawler's is thrilled to share their award-winning barbecue for your next family meal or catered event. Order online or stop by any one of their 14 area locations. Lawler's Barbecue, cooked slow, served fast.
Sports Talk, 24/7, 365. Your full-time sports station.
You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
Is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Does anyone do any work around this joint anymore?
In the town where I was born.
Your song. There's your song. It feels like we're in a yellow submarine.
If we're in the room, we might be.
Yeah. The place is going to. It's all
Work
going
in progress, man.
It
Work in
is.
progress.
It is. But I tell you what, it's we've had a lot of rain in the last
we have.
24, 48 hours. Now, we had a break yesterday for a little bit, but then it started raining in the evening, and it's expected to rain for the next hour. If you look at the forecast, it doesn't look any better for the rest of the afternoon. Now, there are a handful of baseball playoff series that will start today.
Right.
We
hope.
Yeah. Decatur Heritage is going to be at Red Bay.
Yeah.
That is in Class 2A. They are supposed to play today. Lauderdale County is at Winfield in Class 3A. They are expected to start today. Hopefully they get to play today. If not, then obviously you're going to play Friday and Saturday. Several of our teams in 6A, 5A, 4A, and on, they're going to resume their baseball series starting tomorrow. Now, Class 7A, because they have one less round, they are starting this week.
Yeah.
And in Class 7A, we've got Sparkman. They're going to be at Hewitt Trustville. The defending 7A champ Bob Jones Patriots are going to be at home against Thompson. James Clemens is on the road at Tuscaloosa County, but right here in the Rocket City, the Grissom Tigers, they are going to welcome the Hoover Bucks.
Yeah, and the last time we had our next guest on the show, it was I went back and checked my records, and it was a great year for the Hoover Bucks. It was a great year for Adam Mosley because they won the state championship in 2017. He's a Hall of Fame coach. He just won his 500th game. Everyone knows he's a Grissom graduate. He rebuilt that program for 8 years before going to Hoover. He's now been at Hoover for 11 and done an amazing job in his career. He's going to bring his Bucks up here tonight. Now they're going to spend the night and then go on and, as we said, play tomorrow. They're going to play a doubleheader starting at 4:30 over at the new campus at Grissom. One that it did not exist when he faced the Tigers the last time. They've got a new campus. He's coming up here, but he's got a great facility in his own right. One of the best programs in the Southeast, and they have outstanding support there at Hoover. He's done an amazing job, and he's been kind enough to join us this morning on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Coach, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. How you guys?
We are doing really
good,
well,
Coach.
And thank you for taking the time to join us. First of all, congratulations on your 500th win. I saw a lot of your work here at Grissom before you went to Hoover, and I know the job you've done there. You've had great support at both places, but congratulations on that run. And also congratulations on wearing Team USA across your jersey. We have David Sharp here in our community. I know you know Coach Sharp. He's been able to wear Team USA across his shirt as well, and that's a big honor for anyone.
Well, I appreciate it. It is that's the biggest honor any coach could really have in baseball, or at least in amateur baseball. But you hit it. I mean, we've had incredible support. There's so many good friends up there that heck, I grew up, went to Grissom, so there's so many good friends there. And then moving here has been a blessing as well. So I think blessing is kind of the theme of my life. I certainly don't deserve what I've gotten, that's for sure.
Well, let's talk about the team that you're bringing up here. Of familiarize everybody that's going to be out there. Hopefully it's going to be dry. I mean, we're doing our best to move the rain away for you, but sometimes we can't always get it done. But hopefully tomorrow everything will work out. And just kind of tell us about you guys.
Well, first I do not envy Jeremy's position to have to. They may set the record for tarp pulls, on and off the field over the next couple days.
Oh, yeah. Because yesterday at about 2:00, it was great here. Yeah. From about 2:00.
He felt like, he said he thought he had a good time to practice yesterday, and they tarp after the practice. I don't know what happened, but listening to you guys, between talking about how bad Jalen Milroe is and how bad Cam Ford is, and then how that one just, you Scott, that was just Drew, but and then how wet it is up there. I don't know what we're getting into. We're going to pack our snorkels and come on up. We pitch it a little bit. We hit a little bit. We play a little bit of defense. Just honestly, our team is just a bunch of really kind of tough kids that have been through a lot off the field, and that we've had some personal tragedies in our program, and we have some really good players, but we've also I think we've got better humans. They're fun to watch because they just do things the right way.
Yeah, and the culture's so big, and you had a strong one here at Grissom, no doubt about it, and you've built one there at Hoover, and you guys contend every year. And then just like the football area up there, the region, the baseball area is incredibly difficult with what Hewitt has built, and then Vestavia. We know their tradition, of course, and they've started to come back around the last 3 or 4 years. And then Oak Mountain considers itself very strong as well. So, and then when you take into account 7A has one less round, what that also means is everybody in the playoffs are good.
That's right. There is no easy out. I remember at one point when I was at Grissom and it was 6A, we didn't have very many easy first round matchups. There was at least a year or two where we thought, all right, we've got a real shot here to kind of maybe get some guys in, let them experience the playoffs before we play somebody really good the next round. This is, you just jump right into the deep end of the ocean in 7A here. There are no easy matchups.
Right. That's very true. And Coach, I know a year ago you were returning, after the suspension, which nobody understood that. I still
nobody here understood it. We didn't understand it.
That's why I wanted to mention that you wore the Team USA around across your chest.
Yes.
That's a total honor. But you came back last year. I think you had a younger group. You only had 8 seniors. How experienced a group do you have this year? I know last year 8 seniors was kind of a small class for you.
It was, and this year we have a lot of seniors. We also have, some juniors that played a whole lot of sophomores. We've got, a lot of experience back, a lot on the mound. We only lost, I think it was 55 innings from the entire season last year.
Wow.
So. Yeah. Now the problem is one of those guys who is one of our best was hurt early in the year, and he's just now kind of rounding back into form. That's William Andre, and he's going to Sanford, and he's a big old tall kid. He's 6'6", and he's one of those guys that knows all the metrics and all that stuff. So that's he lives in my world when it comes to that, when it comes to pitching metrics. But he's back, and we've got the 2 juniors that everybody knows about, Jackson Wood, who's going to Tennessee, and Will Adams going to LSU, and those guys have played, it's hard to start as a sophomore here. It's hard to start as a junior here. Well, those 2 have started since they were freshmen. And so, those guys are the most experienced on our roster, really, I think. And so we've got some experience. We also got some young guys too. So, but we can have all the experience we want. My memories of Grissom in playoff games are obnoxiousness. Like people, I told the story to our team just yesterday about, we had 2 engineers when I was there. We were getting ready to play Hewitt, and they wanted it to be louder, so they took an air compressor and hooked it up to 2 vuvuzelas, and we were right behind home plate just hammering that thing the whole time. It's the loudest thing I'd ever heard in my life. And I told them, I don't know what we're walking into, but I know it's probably not going to be, hey, good to see you. They're going to have a good time with it.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, I was looking at your schedule, and man, whoo, you tested this Hoover team this year.
We believe in it here. We're lucky to have an administration that believes in it. The way baseball works, which I don't necessarily agree with it, but it's the rules we got right now in Alabama. There's only 6 games that matter. And so, why not try and go find out where you stand long before those 6 games? And so we've played in California. We've played teams from Florida and New Jersey and Ohio and just all over the place. When you have an admin that really believes in that brings value to a program, then that's it's a blessing. I wouldn't put it, for everybody. Your administration better support it, but it's tested us, and we've seen more 90-mile-an-hour arms and great hitters than I can honestly count right now.
Well, and I think a good thing about what you did there is you see all kind of different styles of baseball, Coach, because you might see some small ball, you might see teams that try to slug, but and then a guy that pitch it really well. When you see different styles, because a lot of times when you play teams from across the United States, that's what you're going to see. So nothing kind of can take you off guard once you get ready to play those area games and then hopefully get to the playoffs. But getting to the playoffs out of 7A area 6, that's quite an accomplishment in itself.
It was a bear this year. I mean, it always is tough, but when they were getting ready to announce the rezoning or reclassification last year, we kind of thought it might be coming, but you still, once you saw it on paper, you're like, oh my goodness. I mean, that's Oak Mountain they finished 4th and they won 1 area game. That was against us. They've got a guy that throws 94 miles an hour, and when he's on, you can just kind of forget it. And obviously Vestavia, like you mentioned before, is that you got to walk past the statue of Sammy Dunn to get to the field. And, that place has been great. And they won a state title 2 years ago. And heck, I coached there for a couple of years. And then, Hewitt is, arguably top 5 teams I've seen since I've been a high school baseball coach.
You mentioned playing those 6 games that matter. Would you like to see the state kind of change that format a little bit so that you play more games during the regular season that actually matter?
I would love to find the correct adjective to tell you how much I would like. I don't know the word, but yes, Scott, like it is. What's sad about our situation in our state is that was voted in. Most of the state or most of the areas play 3 games, and only 2 count toward your standings, and one's a tiebreaker. I'm sure you guys are real familiar with that. But
yes,
it was voted in around the state that all 3 of those games could matter. So now you could have 9 games that matter. And the Central Board just didn't do anything with it. And so we need that to change. There's no one in our state that I think doesn't want more games to count. I talk to people, heck, in California or in Florida or in Georgia or wherever, and they all have, 15 games that count, or what some random number that's a lot more. And, take Vestavia, for example. They had 1 injury to their leadoff hitter who's a big-time player. I mean, this kid's a sophomore, and he's going to be a Division I player. He's a starting quarterback, and he's got a hurt back, and he sits out our series, and their season's done after that one right there.
Wow.
And they're one of 2 teams to beat Hewitt all year long, and they don't get to go to the playoffs because we have the rules we have. Now, I personally, I'm glad they're not in the playoffs right now because they're really good, but especially with him. But it's not right. I mean, they need to be in. We need a system that rewards good teams and gives us more of a chance to prove ourselves.
Well, we're talking to Adam Mosley, the head baseball coach of the Hoover Bucks. And Coach, what's it going to take? I know you played such a tough schedule, but Coach Jeremy Brown's done a great job getting that program back to making the playoffs consistent. There's 2 straight area championships for him. Now they're trying to translate it into playoff success. What do you see with their team, and what does your team need to do to advance on? As you said, it's going to be a tough road environment over there.
No doubt. So first thing, you nailed it with how well Coach Brown has got that, or how good of a job he's done. I mean, I was lucky enough to get to go watch Huntsville Grissom last Saturday, and it was great to see that the stands were still full and that people were still jacked about watching both of the teams. But his team's incredibly solid. They play the game the right way. There's some of this jaw jacking that started to get out of control between players and stuff. I haven't seen that. I think he just does a really, really good job, and we're going to have to play really well to give ourselves a chance. And when I've seen them, what I've seen out of them, they throw a bunch of strikes. They don't make very many errors, and they don't strike out very much. So if you do those 3 things in high school baseball, you got a good chance to give yourself a chance late in the game.
No doubt. It's going to be a tough challenge, but certainly I know your kids are looking forward to it. And look, man, we still consider you a native son. We're very proud that you won a state championship in 2017 because you were basically 1.5 inning away from doing it at Grissom. You had some great
100%.
teams over there, man. And I still remember that series and I believe it was against Auburn, if I remember correctly.
It's exactly who it was. Yep. And they had a loaded roster, and we had a loaded roster.
Yep.
We played to get there. We played the best high school series I've ever seen against Pelham, and I still consider myself a Huntsvillian or whatever we call ourselves. I love everything about Huntsville, and always will, especially Grissom, and pull for them all the time, except for this weekend.
Yeah, well, we hope you have safe travels. We know you're coming in tonight, and hope this weather gets out of here. I can't wait to be a part of it. I mean, I think it's going to be a great environment over there at Grissom, and it's always great to see these jacked environments with a lot of crowd support, man. And there's nothing like high school playoff baseball, too. It's really electric, and we look forward to the Bucks coming over here. And again, Coach, we really appreciate the time. I know you guys are very still preparing, still trying to get all the hay in the barn, but good luck to you tomorrow, man. And I really appreciate it, and continued success. And congrats again on the 500th win.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys having me on, and we look forward to, the most hospitable, nicest group of human beings possible tomorrow night. And if we go to Saturday on Saturday,
we will make sure the welcome wagon is there for you.
I won't be behind home plate. I need to hear. I need to be able to hear,
Yeah, look, if you see Kathy Williams with some cowbells out there, shaking them and yelling, then I know what we're walking into at that point.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's postseason baseball and high school level. This is great. I mean, this is where it does turn up a notch.
Yes, sir.
That's right. It's the best thing going for sure.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, fellas. Have a great day.
Yeah, I mean, look, when I was on the TV side, it was one of the greatest things. It was, if you knew, and it didn't matter if it was Grissom or Huntsville or Madison Academy or wherever you went for high school baseball, you had a fear because you wanted to get video, right? Because you didn't know where to stand because there was nowhere to stand.
No room.
There was no room because people would get there at 2:00 in the afternoon to put their chairs down, and it would be full. When Grissom was going and Adam Mosley had it going, Coach Mosley was so kind that he'd be like, you guys can stand in the dugout. I mean, you guys are fine to be in the dugout, but the state has a rule that you can't be like outside the dugout. You actually have to physically be in the dugout. And Coach Mosley was kind enough during that series when they were at Grissom that he'd be like, you guys are more than welcome to stand in the dugout because there was no room at Grissom. There was zero room back there in the old days. I mean, they had that thing packed.
Oh, it was. It was remember, it was behind the school.
Yep. You had to walk a mile to get there. All right, let's get a break in. Wrap up hour one coming up next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Got a new injury wreck, 565 eastbound at County Line. Already got one working eastbound about the Glen Hearn entrance to the International Airport. And we got one westbound 565 near Sparkman. Officers, construction workers, and first responders put their lives on the line every time they step on the roadway. You can make it safer for them. Slow down or move over. It's the law. Captain Eck in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
I'm Jeff Jr., founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin by both my father, who owned a small 10-lane bowling alley, and my mother, who was a nurse, who did her best caring for everyone in our small town. My parents stressed with me that if you were going to do anything, it needed to be done right or not done at all. I later joined the Marine Corps, where additional values were instilled. Values like honor, courage, and commitment. The motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which means always faithful. The best part of Trajan Wealth, our 100-plus employees who also embrace the exact same values. If your current financial advisor is more interested in selling you something or is more loyal to their own financial gain than yours, give us a call for a second opinion. We would be honored to hear from you. Call Trajan today, 256-208-9000. That's 256-208-9000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
Short time left in hour number 1. See, I've got the A-Sun Beach Volleyball Championships getting ready to start this morning.
Yeah.
They're going to be playing in the rain. They're going to be playing in the rain over there. Woo! 3 straight days of that, and it goes on all day. And they're like, yeah, we're starting at 9. We're going to be playing at 9 a.m. in the rain. Could use some blue sky there, Mr. Blue Sky. Short time left in hour number one. Just looking at here, Mike Rodak sat down and had a sit-down conversation with Nick Saban. So I was just kind of reading what he was having to say about that. But don't forget, you got round one of the NFL draft. I'd imagine we will have that for you tonight here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. I imagine we will have first-round coverage of that tonight, so you can tune in and listen to the NFL draft. 11 hours, 3 minutes, and 15 seconds until the start of said NFL draft. That comes your way a little bit later this evening. And, of course, we just got done talking to Adam Mosley. High school baseball is ongoing.
Great conversation. Good to catch up with Coach. It's been too many years. And but, of course, that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes because, and they flip just like they flip the basketball areas and how
they change a little bit of it.
They change it up a little bit. So, several years ago when they won state, they were playing them in the quarters. This time it's the first round, but glad to have Coach coming back to his hometown.
Well, John and Joe's going to sit in for me here in the next 60 minutes. But I thought it was great that Coach did say, hey, look, the state's got to change something. We've said so long the Alabama High School Athletic Association is behind the times in a lot of things.
That is 100% true.
And we will stand by that to the day. There's a lot. It's not just football, basketball, baseball. There's a lot of sports. They need to get with the times, and they need to do a lot of changing because what worked 20 years ago does not work today.
This is Brent Musburger's BSIN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
AI-powered betting models to help you make sharper picks during March Madness. Free 7-day trial available now at rhythm.com. That's RITHMM.com.
NFL draft kicks off tomorrow in Green Bay, and the Tennessee Titans have the #1 overall pick. And bookmakers believe that Tennessee will select Miami quarterback Cam Ward. He is the heavy favorite to go #1 to Tennessee. You have to bet $20,000 to win $100 on Cam Ward going #1 overall. The NASCAR Cup Series, Jack Link's 500 at the Talladega Super Speedway. Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, all 11-1 to win it. William Byron and Brad Keselowski, 12-1. Baseball yesterday, Cardinals over the Braves 10-4. Braves at $1.70 favorite this afternoon against the Redbirds. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center. Online at sportsmedalabama.com. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Hour number 2 here on the Talkin' Ball with John Abraham and Drew DeArmond as we get into the second hour of the show. Of course, Scott had to go and do some volleyball for the A-Sun Conference, which, Drew, I don't know how that works. How hard is sand whenever you play volleyball in the rain?
Don't know because I've never played sand volleyball, so I can't tell you if I've ever played on the beach. I think Scott has. He'd be more apt to answer that question. It's got, I guess, it being a little cooler, I would think it'd be it wouldn't be something that would be an issue.
Yeah.
I think you could play beach volleyball in the rain, but hopefully the rain will get out of here and they can the ASUN can have a good run today. I think it'd be kind of hard to draw a crowd outdoors, of course, in this kind of weather. But again, Scott going to call some ASUN volleyball, no doubt about that. And we're going to continue to talk some high school baseball here from the AHSAA. As we already just heard from Adam Mosley, the longtime coach of the Hoover Bucks, who also spent 8 years at his alma mater at Grissom High School and really took them to some heights that we saw Ray Walker win one in the late 80s, and I believe he won it in 1989. Grissom came close once again in about 2010 of winning it under Coach Mosley, but 7 years later he got it done at Hoover, and now he's going to be bringing his squad over to Grissom, and we're really excited for the Grissom Tigers opportunity and what they've got a chance to do under Coach Jeremy Brown. Jeremy Brown, I believe, now in year 3 at the helm of the Grissom Tigers, and we're really excited for what he's done the last 2 years. They've won 2 straight 7A Area 7 championships, and now what they're wanting to do is use this platform to advance in the playoffs. And it's very difficult to do, especially in 7A, because we talked to Coach Adam Mosley about that. Everybody is good, but this will be our first time on Talkin' Ball speaking with Jeremy Brown, and we wanted to welcome him with this song as we welcome him to our airways for the first time.
All the mentors call him Sir Brown. Hero Brown, better fan in the whole damn town.
And he was. He was a bad man. Coach Jeremy Brown is with us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Coach, I had to do that. I was very fortunate in my time at the University of Alabama when you came along in 1999 as a freshman and played. I'm gonna make us both feel old here, but I remember listening to your first at bat on the radio. Chris Stewart called it, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you homered in your first Alabama at bat against Houston on the road.
Well, it was I walked my first at bat.
Oh, okay.
My first official at bat. Yes.
But it was your first official at bat. Okay, I was close.
Yeah, you were close.
Yeah.
And that song brings up some good memories, so I appreciate that, and thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. Well, it does for me. Every time we heard that walk-up song, we knew you were coming to the plate, and it was a great watching your career at the University of Alabama. I still say you got the best hands of any first baseman and catcher I ever saw at the university, because you played catcher your last couple years at Bama, and I know you were a first baseman when you first got there. Just one of probably my all-time favorite player. I'm just going to say that. I mean, you and Roberto Vaz anyway, but you both had great careers at the university, and now both of you are in coaching. And this is, of course, you've done a great job reviving this Grissom program that, is now getting used to, once again, winning area championships, having postseason success. How has the rebuild gone at Grissom to get everything, back in line? Because I know when you took this job after you were briefly with Oxford High School, that Oxford has a championship pedigree, and I know you were at Bessemer Academy as well. But what did you see that attracted you to come to Grissom and come to the Rocket City?
Well, Grissom High School has a lot to offer. It's, a beautiful school. It's one of the bigger schools in the state, and I thought it'd be a great job to try to get.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And certainly I know that your rebuild has gone exceptionally well. What's the best part about this squad that you've got now that you've won back-to-back 7A Area 7 titles? What's the strength of your ball club this year in your mind?
I think the strength is the senior leadership that we have. Charlie Cassingham, Josh Burrell, they've been playing. Charlie's been playing since he's in 8th grade, but
wow.
On the varsity. But Josh Burrell, started to play my first year on the varsity, and those guys have really been the backbone of our program. We win with pitching and defense, and those two guys have logged a lot of innings over the last 2 years, and so that's kind of what we do. We pitch it well and play defense and try to manufacture some runs here and there.
Yeah, no question. And I know Charlie Cassingham, he's committed to South Alabama, outstanding two-way player. He's done a great job for you on the mound. I know he did an outstanding job in clinching that Huntsville series, and he seems to be a guy. I think he set the stolen base record at Grissom. He's an all-around great player for you, Coach.
Yeah, he is. He's done an exceptional job the last 2 years, really, since I've been here. But he's really done a really good job on the mound, and just kind of being our team leader and the guy where everything runs through.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And then, Coach, I know you've taken a look at Hoover and Adam Mosley, and you play a challenging schedule yourself, because that's the only way you're going to build a championship level program in 7A at a place like Grissom, is to play a lot of great people. But what are your thoughts on the matchup with the Hoover Bucks and then Coach Mosley tomorrow afternoon?
Well, Coach Mosley has a good team, just like he does every year, and we'll have to play our best ball to be right there in it. They're obviously going to be well coached. They have really good arms, and a bunch of athletes. So, like I said, we'll have to pitch it and play defense really well to give ourselves a chance.
Mm-hmm. No question. And then with what's the biggest area of growth that you've seen with this squad now that you've been able to stack 2 good seasons, back to back? I mean, I know the next step is playoff success, because that's what you want to do. You're trying to bring a blue map back to Huntsville and Grissom. But what area of growth for your squad this year have you seen the most, as far as with the way this team is developed?
I just think their confidence level. As a team, we have some young guys in the mix that play, and that takes a while for them to kind of grow into their role and to what they need to do to help the team. And I think some of the young guys who's been sprinkled in, I think they've done a good job with kind of knowing what their role is and doing the best they can for the team.
Yeah, Coach, and going into this matchup tomorrow, it's probably been a little bit tough for you to find time to get out there and practice with all the rain that's coming in. But talk about what you have been able to do, regardless of the rain that is just continued to flood the Huntsville area.
Yeah, the rain is stressing me out more than the actual game, because we're trying to figure out when to pull the tarp. When is it going to rain? Because I don't think the forecasters know.
No.
But we prepared like we have all year. We have to deal with the rain, all year long. So as far as preparing for the week, we were able to go out to Lee High School yesterday and get on their turf and get a good practice in. So, as far as preparing for the week, I feel like the boys are ready to go. Yeah,
and that's something this was my mistake, Coach, because I know you guys are slated to get turf, and I guess it's this off season. I thought that it had already happened. My apologies. I haven't been out to Grissom. I plan to be out there tomorrow. I hadn't been out there this year to see you guys play, but I knew Huntsville, Lee had gotten turf, but I didn't realize. But are you guys slated to get it this summer?
We are. So as soon as our season's over, they'll start working on it.
No, that'll be tremendous. I know you've already got a great facility over there. I've been on the campus, but that'll help you guys. I'm sure you guys are super pumped about that, and that'll help you out exponentially.
Oh yeah, you don't lose any practice time unless it's just unless it's a thunderstorm or something like that, and it'll be big for us.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
Okay, Coach, I'm literally walking in the studio right now.
Joe,
yeah. Yeah, no, and so I'm sitting here and I'm listening to everybody talk, and I was like, wait a second. Are you guys saying Jeremy Brown like that Jeremy Brown? And I'm sitting and thinking to myself, wait a second, this is Moneyball Jeremy Brown. Like that was the first thing that I thought about, Coach. And I looked at Drew and I'm going like, wait a second, does everybody know this story about you and money, like in Moneyball and all that, like that's listening right now, or is this just kind of like, am I late to the party?
No.
I think I know everyone around our program knows. They ask about it. I used to ask about it all the time, not so much anymore. But that was they didn't really do me fair in the movie. I will say.
No, they didn't.
So like all my buddies calling, they're like, "Dude, they killed you in the movie." Because, man, I look like a left tackle, man. So.
And so for people that don't realize, like, know what he's talking about, at the very end of the movie, it's in the book. It's like probably like only like 2 chapters into the book that you're being talked about. and it's about, you hitting the home run, not knowing you hit the home run, like tripping, all this other stuff in it. I mean, seriously, man, they literally added a good 50 to 75 pounds on what you were going to look like for real.
Yeah, they did, and they didn't do me any justice. I'll say that. But the story is true. I did fall around first, but I did not weigh 310 pounds.
Okay, so how do you use that though? Like for real? Like I know that obviously, look, I remember, I'm not kidding. I remember my first hit I ever got in, I want to say like middle school baseball. I'm running down the first base line. Ball goes past the first baseman. I don't see it. I'm clapping because I just got my first hit. And I trip and fall. Like I just literally bust my tail because everybody's going, go do. And I'm going, oh crap. And I fall. But then I turn it around. And I'm like, look, if I'm going to embarrass myself like that, like I can turn this into a positive. How have you been able to do that? Not just here, but everywhere as you go along, using that story to highlight, things that happen on the baseball field.
Yeah, well, baseball's, as everyone knows, baseball's a game of failure, and a lot of your success is how you're able to bounce back from when you don't succeed. And you got to learn how to deal with it. And, kind of what I preach to our guys is, you just play it pitch by pitch. It's something, if you make an error, you strike out, you give yourself a couple seconds, and then you got to move on. Because in the game, baseball's tough because usually when you make an error, the next ball's coming to you. Or if you strike out, the next time you come up, you're probably going to have runners on. So you just that's been a strong point of mine to get over to our guys is, move on, flush it, and let's get on the next play.
And I got to say this too. Whenever I've heard, the things that have been said about Moneyball, I still think it was an honor that you were mentioned though, because you were such a great player. And the thing too is it goes back to when I know they were making comments about, your build and everything like that. It goes back to something John Kruk told somebody one time. I think he told this lady, I think he was eating a snack before a game, and she's like, "Why are you eating that right now?" And he looked at the lady and he goes, "I'm not an athlete, I'm a ball player." And that's basically, I don't care what package you're in, can you play? And that's the way I always look at it. And for me, the first time I ever laid eyes on you, I never got to see you at Hueytown. I had some friends at Lee High School that played against you in the playoffs. But when I saw you play at Alabama, first time I ever saw you in Sewell Thomas, I knew you could play. And that's why and then like Coach Jim Wells said, Hall of Famer himself, I mean, you could play any position you could have, but you were an outstanding first baseman, and you made a tremendous move to catcher, and it was seamless, and you ended up being a first-round draft choice. And I'm just honored to have you in Huntsville. I want to see what you continue to build at Grissom. I always felt like you had when I would watch you, I'm a big body language person, so I would watch when you were in the on deck circle and you would lean on your bat and you were kind of breaking a pitcher down. You, Brent Boyd, you played with a lot of great players at Alabama. That was a great time to be a college baseball fan, and I just wanted to tell you that I've enjoyed watching your career grow now as a coach, and you've done a heck of a job at Grissom, Coach Brown, and I think you got this squad going in the right direction. I'm looking forward to this series tomorrow because I think Coach Mosley was already talking about what a great crowd you guys are going to have, and I know it was crazy environment against Huntsville. I know I'm sure the student body and the entire community is really excited about this challenge for tomorrow.
Oh yeah, everybody's really excited, and thank you for what you said. But yeah, everybody, there's a buzz around school. There was last week, playing Huntsville. So yeah, I think we'll have a really good crowd. If we can get the rain to go away, it'll make it an even better day.
Yeah, no question.
And one question for not just you, but also a lot of things that are happening baseball wise. You're in a unique situation with the major leagues. You played with the A's, but you also played in Sacramento. Like, what is this team going through? Like, how did it feel to know that they were leaving Oakland, they're having to play in Sacramento and all of that before heading to Vegas?
Well, I mean, it'll obviously be great for the players once they get to Vegas. This year it'll probably be tough, just not having a home field.
Right.
They're out of Oakland now. Sacramento's a great place. It's a great environment there. The hitters will love it because the ball flies. So it's but it'll be a tough adjustment.
And then, Coach, but we don't want you to give the game plan away against Hoover, but how are you going to approach this? I mean, of course, it's a doubleheader. You're trying to get at least one game on, hopefully, weather permitting, on Friday. And I know you are you going to go with your the usual rotation that you've used all year, or do you have to kind of think about matching up? Because I know Hoover's got three really nice arms themselves. This is going to be a really interesting matchup pitching wise for both squads.
Yeah, I think it will, and no, I'm not going to give my game plan away, but I have confidence in our guys. I know their guys are really good, and if everything works out the plan, it's going to be a really tight game, and it'll be whoever gets the big hit or makes the big play. So I'm confident in our guys. I know we have a tall task ahead of us, but like I said, I have confidence in our players.
We certainly do as well. It's been a great year for Grissom, 7A Area 7 champions, and they've earned this right to host the Hoover Buccaneers and Adam Mosley. Going to be a great environment over there tomorrow. And, of course, I believe the first game is slated for 4:30. Second game, roughly 7 o'clock, but it'll be 30 minutes or so after the completion of game 1, and then game 3, if necessary, on the campus of Grissom, on Saturday. So we'll see what happens, but we certainly are looking forward to this. And again, Coach, we appreciate you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us today. We hope the rain gets out of there and you guys can finish your preparation. But again, good luck to you, and we really appreciate the conversation this morning, sir.
Yeah, thank y'all for having me on, guys, and look forward to seeing you guys out at the game.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Yeah, I just totally rolled in on this, and I was like, so who are we talking to?
Right.
And then when John goes, yeah, Jeremy Brown of Grissom, I'm like, wait a second. I know that name. I know that name. And so you're wanting to talk Grissom, and I'm like, so tell me about that time you tripped around first.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've never seen the movie, and you'd think I would have been a sports nut, but I knew JB was, featured in it because that's when they started going to analytics. And I think he's the only SEC baseball player ever to have, because he played 4 years. You didn't see that a lot. He was a 19th round pick of the Red Sox after his junior year, but he had made the transition from first base after his sophomore year to catcher as a junior. But they had a really good group of juniors that decided to come back. He was his second full year catching, and he'd never caught, even at Hueytown, according to what I'd been told. He'd never caught before. But he had a really good arm. You could tell that he took to it right away. Because again, he's a baseball player.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't really care what he looks like. Like, he was only 5'9", but I'm telling you this right now. He's the best first baseman I've ever seen at the University of Alabama. Because I want to tell you something. I know he's not the tallest guy, so you can't, but if you got it close to him, and it didn't matter if you were Ebby Calvin Lelouch throwing the ball over there, he would scoop everything. Never saw him not be able to. He had the best set of hands I've ever seen in my life. And then, of course, as a hitter, it speaks for itself, because what I was going to say is I read this last night and it blew my mind, because again, it's been, he's been 23 years. It's hard to believe.
Absolutely.
Since he played at Alabama. He's one of the only guys, maybe still the only guy in SEC history, 300 hits and 200 walks.
Yeah. Wow. And that plays into the movie.
And if you, my opening question to him was, and I got it wrong because I just remember hearing it, and it was his first official at bat, because they opened against the University of Houston his freshman year on the road. Houston was good. I think Houston took 2 out of 3 in that series, if I remember correctly. But Alabama on a Friday night, he walked his first at bat. And I had heard all these things about him coming out of high school. I was like, man, this guy's going to be unreal. Mm-hmm. And then he did homer in his first official at bat, which was the second one after he walked. So that's what I'm talking about. Walk, bomb. I mean, he just got on base all the time. And I mean, he's just a hell of a baseball player. And I'm just happy to have him here in our city. And he's done a great job with Grissom. And now, I mean, their facility will be even better going into next year as they get this turf. I wish they had it now.
God, yes.
But again, hopefully this rain will get out of here and they'll have a great environment over there. And it'll be a heck of a series against the Hoover Bucks.
Played for the Midland Rockhounds.
Yeah, he played for Midland, played for Sacramento. Obviously, he was in Oakland A.
He just missed the Stars, man, because they have left town. It stinks. And then we did get to have Hunter Morris here, later on because he was with the Brewers. And boy, how old because he's got a son that's at Sparkman.
He does.
The movie made 225 look like 275.
No,
Let's
it
just be
really did. Like they added way. And here's also the thing with the movie, okay? Because you read the book, and it's just like a lot of things. The movie only focuses on maybe 2 chapters of the book.
Right.
Like, because it starts with Billy Beane, his career, going into becoming the general manager, why he started going into analytics. And then it starts talking about Jeremy. And I'm going, but at the movie, they put that at the very end of the movie, kind of almost like an extra scene.
Right.
Of like, so look at this guy. Like, look what's happening here.
It's romantic.
It is romantic.
And he was built like a manhole cover. So people were saying he's a bad body catcher and all this stuff. But I just go back to the story that I told about John Kruk. And I said, and he was sitting there having a snack. I think he was eating ho-hos or something. He was eating, and this is John Kruk you're talking about, who had no filter anyway. And he's eating these sweets or something in between games or before a game. And this lady's like, "What are you doing? You're about to play a Major League Baseball game." He's like, "Lady, I'm an athlete. I'm not an athlete. I'm a ball player. I ain't worried about, looking great and everything." And we know John Kruk didn't have the best body in the world either, but boy, he could play baseball.
Oh, he absolutely could. And
he could rake. He just didn't like Randy Johnson standing in the box.
So I'm looking at at the amount of errors that Jeremy Brown had throughout his career, because that plays into everything that we're talking about with him. Through his career, the most amount of errors he ever had in baseball was 12. And in professional baseball, that was the first year that he played catcher in Double-A for Midland. The rest of the time, he never had more than 6 or 7 errors throughout an entire season.
Yeah, and at Alabama, it was better than that. I mean, it was ridiculous.
I'm looking at right now at Matt Olson for the Braves. Had 8 errors in 22 and 23. He had 8 errors in 19. And again, it's an all-star first baseman.
Yeah.
Just putting that into perspective.
Scott and Drew they did the job in the first hour, going into the second, previewing a little bit of that Hoover Bucks Grissom Tigers matchup. It'll be going down tomorrow at 4:30, but we got to hit a break. When we come back, continuing on your phone calls as well, 256-576-4977 here on Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Just got a new wreck, westbound 565 at Old Madison Pike. Possible injury there. At Blue Spring and Maston Lake reported with an injury. Westbound 565 in Sparkman and eastbound 565 near County Line, all still working. The summer temps are here. Don't get caught without air. D&L Refrigeration can check your system before it's too late. Discounts for military, law enforcement, and seniors. D&L 256-652-1207. State license 08091. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Where's the best place for sports? What about the best place for wings? If you answered Jefferson's for both, you're right. Jefferson's is also a great place for value. Every Monday, kids eat free with the purchase of an adult meal, and teachers bring your teacher ID and you eat free every first Tuesday of the month up to $15. And Newmarket, Jefferson's will be opening a new location at 2190 County Road 65 very soon. Jefferson's, best place for sports, best place for wings. Hampton Cove, and soon in Newmarket.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games, and if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title, because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Talking ball on this rainy Thursday where it has been pouring down rain.
Even in the sea, coming down from the ceiling somewhere in here.
Yeah, it's pouring down the rain in here as well.
I didn't know if we wanted to bring that up or not. Yeah, we got one tile that is just slightly bent.
Well, we're gonna fix it. I mean, all I said was we're still working through the kinks.
Yeah.
We've been here for a few months, but again, it's kinks. You run into some, you just got to deal with it. We're gonna deal with it. We certainly are. We played Yellow Submarine coming out of first break. So,
we asked Jeremy Brown if he would come over and be able to help us out because we know he can catch everything. So
yeah, there you go.
He's a little busy today on that. But
Yes.
yeah, as you get to see, I'm filling in, Joe Honk filling in for Scott Tyson. Get used to this. This is about to be a weird couple of weeks. As Jeremy Brown just joined us from Grissom High School talking about their matchup that's taking place. Obviously, Drew DeArmond still in. John Abraham is on here as well.
That's right.
It's weird because I literally did. Scott texted me as I'm driving in. I was like, yeah, I should be able to be there right at 8 o'clock.
Right. And then, but of course, traffic
and weather all together.
It always happens, man.
Yeah, so I was pulling in as Scott was getting into his car.
Right.
And so I'm like, let me run up here and try to hop in.
We had it ready. I mean, John was ready to jump on, and we were getting ready. We were loading up, Jim Croce's bad Leroy Brown. So we were good. I mean, and we appreciate both these coaches who are, have busy schedules and again, this is win or go home time. This is, high school playoff baseball I've been in some electric environments. There's nothing like it. It's great stuff, great theater. And usually, especially when you're talking about Grissom, Huntsville, when you're talking about Hoover, when you're talking about playing the Hewitt Trustvilles of the world, playing a lot of these programs that are powerhouses, Vestavia's, all this. Whether you go if you're traveling to Birmingham, whether you're coming up here, great environments, man. No doubt about it. Bob Jones, Thompson will be nuts.
Oh,
I mean,
heavens.
that'll be Frankie Perez does a great job at Thompson. He won a state championship at Hazel Green and did a great job with them. And I was a part of that a couple years ago when Thompson came up and beat a really good Hazel Green team. Bob Jones team. And that was heartbreaking for the Patriots because they lined out for the last out of their season, which, could have kept, maybe would have won the game. But, Coach Perez's team, this was in the semifinals, but Coach Perez's team was so good. And they went on to the state finals that year. But Bob Jones broke through a year ago. They're the defending 7A champs, and Coach, Jared Smith's done such a remarkable job. I think he's won 30 games, 7 of the last 8 years. I mean, that's something. And Bob Jones had nice tradition before he got there, but he's taking it to another level. And Coach Jeremy Brown's trying to get Grissom back to where Adam Mosley had him. I think he's on the precipice of doing that. And I just got to tell you too, I feel old as hell because the best player for the Grissom Tigers is Charlie Cassingham. He's a two-way guy. He's their best pitcher. I believe he plays shortstop as well. He's going to end up going on to South Alabama, playing a really good program. But I grew up playing, over at the YMCA with his dad, Stuart Cassingham, who was a hell of an athlete in his own right. So as soon, about 4 years ago, because he's like Hunter Morris. He's been playing since he was in like 8th grade for Grissom. About 3 years ago, when I saw there was a Cassingham on Grissom, I knew. I was like, that's got to be.
Well, I feel old right now because you were talking about Frankie Perez and everything with Thompson.
Yep.
Well, my nephew was on that team at Hazel Green that won the state championship, and I'm sitting here thinking like, oh yeah, what year was that? And I go, oh my heavens, that was 2018. It has been 7 years. And I'm just thinking like 7 years. I mean, my nephew's already graduated college.
Yeah.
He's already got like a job, really good job. He does like cybersecurity. He's real smart.
Yeah.
And so like, I'm like, again, Jordan Beck was on that team. I'm looking at these players and I'm thinking, these guys are in the major leagues now. Like, I'm just crazy to think about all these players that Coach Perez has. And he's such a great guy. Like, he is like everybody, which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, he's a great guy. And I remember when they won the state championship, I was that year in 18. That was about my 4th year on the air.
Mm-hmm.
He brought the trophy into the downtown, man.
Mm-hmm.
He brought 3 or 4 of his players. He brought the trophy in here. We were able to see, that blue map that Hazel Green brought, because they beat Coleman in such dramatic fashion with that home run. It was a heck of a run for Coach Perez, man. And he had actually come over from Thompson. He was an assistant there. So him going back there, I think everybody understood that may have been a little bit preordained. And he's at a great place. But Hazel Green's a great program in their own right. And I was privileged to watch Jordan Beck and when he was at Hazel Green, and the ball just always sounded different coming off of his bat. I mean, when you're playing against a program with the caliber and tradition of a Coleman, and then they cheer like they won the World Series every time they get you out.
Yes,
that's how good a guy like Jordan Beck was, and I was not shocked at all that he went to Tennessee, became an All-American. And then, Colorado takes him, I think, in the supplemental first round, and he's already up there. Yep. It didn't take but a couple years, and he's just so advanced, man. He worked so hard at it, and he was a great athlete too, by the way. He could have easily played college basketball.
Absolutely.
He was that good, but his senior year he didn't play because he wanted to concentrate on baseball, and certainly got drafted by the Red Sox out of high school in, I think, the 14th round. And then decided to go to Tennessee, and that was the right move. The crazy thing about Hunter Morris, if I remember correctly, he got drafted in the 2nd round by the Red Sox. I thought he would turn pro out of high school. He went to Auburn, became SEC Player of the Year as a junior, and was a 4th round pick of the Brewers. So he bet on himself, still came out, and he gambled and won there because he was a part of a really good Auburn program. And Jordan Beck, Hunter Morris, they're 2 of the best players to ever come through the city of Huntsville, and it was a blessing to see both of them compete.
Yeah, and Hunter Morris was a part of arguably one of the biggest SEC tournament baseball games to ever take place, because it was Alabama and it was Auburn. It was like a 10 a.m. first pitch at Hoover, and I don't even know how many people that stadium holds,
right?
But I felt there were 10,000 people at that game.
Oh, the SEC tournament is something to see. I enjoy covering it every year. The intensity of the games, and it's really a tougher field than you're going to see in a regional.
Oh, absolutely.
Because there's just so many good teams.
Yeah, no, they absolutely are. But phone lines are open to you. You can hop in on Talking Balls. We got about 30 minutes left before John and I take over with the Blitz as we are continuing to get ready for the NFL draft. 10 hours, 25 minutes, and 3 seconds.
You got your mock draft ready?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. I got the 2.0.
I don't do mock
Here we
drafts.
go.
It's going to be that type of episode.
My favorite thing, the mock draft.
I don't know. Anyways, we'll continue when we come back on Talking Ball. Drew DeArmond, Joe Hunk, John Abraham on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy, overcast sky this afternoon, very similar today to what we've seen the last several days across the Tennessee Valley. Temperatures climbing into the 70s, and we're talking about another chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms. Just like the last couple of days, we're not looking at any severe weather across the Tennessee Valley. Dropping into the low and mid 60s as we head into the overnight, early Friday morning, maintaining the opportunity for a little bit of rain, a cloudy sky Friday afternoon. Temperatures once again climbing into the 70s with scattered showers and thunderstorms. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Got a new wreck in Madison, Slaughter and Yancey Road. That one is coming in as an injury type. Got Blue Spring and Maston Lake reporting injury. And we had one westbound 565 at Old Madison Pike. I don't believe there's injury reported there. They're working to get that one clear. It was a 3-vehicle accident. Dr. Sandman has the Somnodent, a safe, insurance-approved alternative for snoring and sleep apnea. Dr. Randall Sandlin, 350-CARE. Captain Eck in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve. And we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
It's Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I've got something important to talk to you about: your 401k. If you have changed jobs, there are two very important considerations. You don't want to leave your 401k behind, and you don't want to roll it over into your new company plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. 401ks will often have limited investments or age-based options. Since companies have to make choices to suit all employees, they may not be suited to you, which could cost you fees and money. When you roll over your 401k into an IRA, you not only keep your money growing tax deferred, but you also gain access to a world of investment options specifically designed for you. Trajan Wealth and our fiduciary advisors have helped thousands, and we can do the same for you. Call Trajan today, 256-208-9000. That's 256-208-9000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
Ford Motor Company. From America, for America. Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford with a real quick quiz. Out of all the manufacturers, do you know which auto company employs the most hourly workers in America? Ford. Do you know which company assembles the most vehicles in this country? Ford. That's not just a coincidence. It's a commitment. A 120-year-old commitment to build in America for America. And during this unprecedented moment in automotive history, you stand to benefit big time. Woody Anderson Ford is now offering employee pricing. You pay what we pay. We've got over 190 F-150s for you to choose from with generous finance rates and the best deals of the year on America's best-selling truck for 48 years in a row. Employee pricing can save you thousands off MSRP, and with over 600 Fords for you to choose from, there's a good chance you'll find just exactly what you're looking for. This offer ends May 31st, so hurry in. Woody Anderson Ford.
From Coleman to Fayetteville and all points in between.
Son, pull the hammer back. Smokey's coming at you in a plain white wrapper.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Drew, do you remember the number one song of when you were born?
1985, fellas. The 80s were a good time.
Yeah. This was
Back
the
to
number
Future,
one.
Ghostbusters. This is one of like the first PG-13 movies my mother brought me to.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I wasn't sure she would take us because, you know, there was all the stuff about being scary, you know, all this crap. But it was great to see this movie. But I will say this, all movies made after this one, I remember just a little bit about Ghostbusters 2, but the rest of it, and I'll be honest, the reboots they've done lately, the last one I watched was the biggest waste of time. This was the one, the all-female cast. It was horrendous.
Oh, see the all-female cast. I don't know what my son loves that movie. I don't know why.
It's terrible.
It is terrible.
It's funny for a 5-year-old.
I haven't seen the two after that. Now, I will admit that. I have not seen those.
I will say Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah, I know you went to see that. I didn't see that one.
I did cry in that one. And
the theater?
In the theater,
Wow.
I cried. And the only reason I cried was because my dad and I missed the first 2 or 3 minutes because we were still trying to get into the theater.
Wow, was that packed?
It was that packed.
Wow.
So we missed it. And so we get in as the family is, if you ever see it, this was as the family is getting evicted in the house before they move to Oklahoma or wherever they're moving to.
That is scary.
So I didn't see oh no, it's absolutely scary. So I never saw the beginning of the movie. So the first time that I got to see Harold Ramis on the screen was when he comes back as a ghost. That wasn't the part that made me cry. It was when all the other Ghostbusters are like talking to the ghost and they're like apologizing, like, hey, I should have been there. I'm sorry. And I really felt like that wasn't acting at that point in time. That was like literally them saying their goodbyes to him. And I was like, okay, that got me. I mean, I'm getting chill bumps.
I know.
Now talking
I can
about
hear
it.
your voice.
I'm getting chill bumps now talking about it.
Rest in peace, Egon. You know what I'm saying?
The Frozen Empire, not as good as Afterlife, but it did have some stuff from like the real Ghostbusters, the cartoons that that was kind of cool. But when they're doing a third movie to that trilogy, I don't know how to say it. It's the 5th movie in the series because we don't count the girls one, and they're doing another one there as well. So hopefully it'll be better.
The main reason I actually played that was to maybe transition to draft talk, but that doesn't have to happen until later because of who you're going to call, you know?
I see what you were doing.
Come on now.
See, no, I do see.
Well, we know the Titans are going to call Cam Ward. I completely disagree with it. I ripped it apart this morning in hour 1. I've been disagreeing with it from the jump. I think it should be Travis Hunter and then trade for Kirk Cousins. And then you could even draft another quarterback later in the 3rd, 4th round and draft. For example, here's what I would do if I were the Tennessee Titans. I'd lay it all out there. I would draft Hunter. I would trade for Kirk Cousins. And then in about the 3rd or 4th round, because I think he'll be there, I would draft Will Howard out of Ohio State.
Yes.
I think Will Howard's being undervalued. I think he's a better prospect than Will Levis. He played in bigger games. He produced in bigger games. He produced at K-State, which is an underrated program. He won a national championship with all that pressure at Ohio State. And I think he'd be great to learn under a guy like Cousins, who was a 4th round pick in his own right and who really ended up being a better pro than Robert Griffin III, who went number 1 overall. Because remember, the Washington Commanders, even though I still think they're the Redskins,
so does all of Washington.
They drafted Robert Griffin III number 1 overall, and then in the 4th round they took Kirk Cousins. Everybody was wondering what the hell are they doing, and then it actually ended up being a genius move because we all know Robert Griffin III got hurt at the end of his rookie year, was never the same. It was kind of the Carson Wentz deal where an injury just derails a career. You never come back. You never the same type player that you look like. But again, that's what I'd do if I were the Titans. I know that's not what they're going to do. Coach Callahan, I knew I'd do that. Coach Callahan, Brian Callahan really likes, obviously, Cam Ward, sees a lot of things that they can do, and it may work. I just like the veteran, and I think Travis Hunter's a special talent, and I think you can get a good value quarterback. And this is not a great quarterback class. This is just
absolutely
and
not.
So I still think you can get a good player, good value around the third or fourth round if you're the Tennessee Titans. And I think in this draft, honestly, that's where a lot of the value is going to be, is your second, third, fourth round picks. That's why Coach Mack, we talked to Dave McGinnis, I was telling you on break, Coach Mack, as you know him well, you were in Nashville for several years. He came on with us on the drive the other night on Tuesday and was talking about how big a pick that number 35 is.
Yes.
Could be for draft capital if they trade it, or, get a quality player there. It's going to be a pick that's very pivotal probably in this draft.
Well, it's going to be pivotal because you go through the entire first round and then you have 24 hours for everybody to kind of sit on things and go, okay, who's available now at this day? Who do we want to trade up for? And it's not, you can consider it one that you could, if you wanted to, trade further back into the second round, potentially even pick up a third round draft pick because the Titans don't have that. And then you can make a little bit more draft capital from it because so many people are going to be looking at those three. It's going, okay, because it's going to be the third pick of the day in 35 that you're going, all right, what are we going to be doing here? We have the opportunity to trade this and possibly drop back a little bit more if we don't see our guy that we want being available.
256-576-97.7, the number to get in. We'll hop into the phone lines real quick. We got Jason on with us. Jason, how are you doing today, man?
Good. How you doing,
Hey,
Jason?
I'm doing good.
Hey, man.
Hey.
What's
I
up?
got a question for you. Oh, not that. I got a question, Drew.
Yes, sir.
Jeremy Brown's number at Alabama, was it not 27?
It was 23.
Oh, man, I thought I had it. That
I
was,
had it on my wall. I'm not afraid to say that, as he was rounding home plate and touching home after hitting a bomb. But, yeah, he was number 23 at the University of Alabama.
he had like a hitting streak or something like where he reached base like 15 straight times.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he was real good. And the reason I said 27,
yeah,
Chase Lee got the pitch last night for the Tigers.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, he did. He pitched for the Detroit Tigers. He did a good job. I think he did one. They left him in for what, 1 2/3.
Yeah, he didn't allow a run. He come in behind 2-0 and left the ball game 2-0.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's a tremendous story because he tried out as a walk-on from McAdory High School, did not make the team his freshman year of college, was on their club team. They have a club team. And then he came back and tried out the next fall. That's when they changed his motion. And then the ball started jumping all over the place. And he got a little bit bigger too. And then he could throw in the low 90s with that kind of movement. And he just became one of the more dominant relievers of the last decade at Alabama, and ended up getting drafted as a senior. And he was originally drafted by the Rangers, but now has made the big leagues as a Tiger, and it's just a really cool story.
Yeah, that was his first game in Major League Baseball.
That was his debut. He'd been called up, I think, the day before.
Yeah,
and they were able to get him in. And the cool part is, I believe, an Auburn Tiger, Kuhn, made his debut, I think, the inning before. So they had two guys on Auburn Tiger, and then a guy from University of Alabama back to back make their major league debuts for Detroit.
Yeah, my daughter had went to Detroit a couple of weeks ago and went to Comerica Park and brought me back a Tigers hat. So I made a switch team.
There you go.
Yeah. Hey, on the draft, Tennessee needs to go ahead and get Hunter and make a defensive back out of him.
I think he should play the majority of his snaps on defense and then use him situationally on offense. But I do think he's dynamic enough where you've got to play him both ways.
Right. I'll be using like fourth quarter wide receiver when he's behind, because I have seen him get lit up. He'll miss a couple of ball games after that. But he'd make a heck of a defensive back.
No, and you could absolutely see him being there with that. And I was Drew and I were talking about this during the break. Like, I could see him being your starting cornerback, one of them, because you still do have L'Jarius Sneed over at your left cornerback. And I could see him take it over for Jarvis Brownlee, who, again, low draft pick for the Titans last year, has done amazingly. I think he was drafted in the 6th round by the team last year. You could take over that spot or be in rotation with it, and then be a part of 3 wide receiver, 4 wide receiver sets for the Titans, where you then get on the field wide receiver wise. I still want to see if this man can return kicks because his speed, his ability with the way the NFL is set up now with the kick returns, this could be a spot for him to get even more snaps. Not like you're not asking for him to get more, but I loved right before we turned the mics on, Drew goes, he's going to the Browns, man. Like,
well, here's the thing Scott and I discussed. Well, but here's the thing. This would be so Browns. Draft Travis Hunter, trade back into round 1, take Shador, and then hire Coach Prime next year.
Oh, it's still 2014.
Oh, it'd be so funny. All right. We appreciate the phone call, man. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, man. Good thoughts there.
We wrap up Talking Ball when we come back. 256-576-977 on 97.7 ESPN The Zone at WZZN TV.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The Braves roll into the 2025 season with a singular focus. Bring home the division title and remind the league what Atlanta is all about.
Swung on, driven to left center field and deep. That baby's out of here. Austin Riley. 3-0 to Olsen, and he powers one deep right center field to the wall. It's gonna fly. It's a home run. Back-to-back homers.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Would you call a plumber for a root canal? The same goes for selling your timberland or farm. Choose someone who understands your property and can help you on the front end so you can capitalize on the back end. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction. As a guide, I have put many hunters in position to take a shot. It's time for you to take your shot. Let's talk about putting you in position to sell your property. Call me at 256-609-0512. Remember, Bo knows land.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com. It's time for tomorrow's headlines today with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Drew, I think it's kind of obvious what the headline of tomorrow is going to be.
Whatever that damn sound is, with the first pick in the draft, the Tennessee Titans select Warren Moon. Cam Ward.
Yes, Cam Ward. I'm trying to think who's number 11 on the Titans. I'm trying to look at this because
you can look that up.
He is not going to get one.
I wouldn't give it to him. Who knows? I haven't looked up his entire career. Was he one at Washington State, and was he one at Incarnate Word? I didn't look that up. I don't know.
Never mind. He's not going to get 11 either. Van Jefferson has that. He's going to have seniority over
he could buy it. Now he could pay it.
Yeah, he could buy it.
He could give him $1 million. He needs to give me $1 million. I need some money.
Well, the numbers that are available right now are as far as the roster is concerned. Obviously, there's going to be connections to some of these, but 1 is available, which is Warren Moon. 4 and 5 is available. 9 is available.
Yeah.
And then you start getting all the way down after that to 17, which, the last number 17 for the Titans didn't end well, but he did very well for the team. So, yeah, if he wants 11, he's going to have to buy it for Van Jefferson because he's not getting 1. No. No, he is not doing that. But no, it will be Cam Ward getting drafted by the Tennessee Titans, number 1 overall, and that is going to be it for them. And by the way, is now looking in Vegas. Vegas is almost at minus 1,000.
Wow.
For Travis Hunter to be a Cleveland Brown. It is at minus 910.
The Cleveland Browns.
I wish I could be more excited about this.
That's
Honestly,
also how many losses
Why are you
they'll have
not
every
excited?
year. It's
You're
9
getting
or
the
10.
best player in the draft. Are you just waiting for the shoe to drop where they ruin something?
It's because it's Cleveland, man.
Yeah, Drew, come on now. I've seen this before. I've played these games before.
They're fittingly known as the Browns, and that's a great color for them.
Can he be our savior? That'd be awesome. That'd be something. Jeez.
Can he play quarterback?
Probably. Who knows?
Yeah, Drew thinks it's going to be that they're going to trade back in for Shador. There you go, John.
Coach Prime be in Cleveland next year.
All right, John and I'll be back here in just a moment.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock solid